Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So before I even hit film, what was coming through was the idea of having to express, I don't know why express is coming through, but explain yourself for your actions, your choices. And then this is a bit of a drastic aspect, and I think it's just like a comparison. But, going into would you choose to save like 10 people or a million people? And that's the comparison with your decision. And I don't think your decision is that drastic that it holds any validity towards people's lives. But it's like your actions hurt 10 people, but you helped a million. And the person or the energy that is having a problem with what you did is sympathizing with the 10, and the million uh, can't be comprehended. It is like this uh, validating victimhood or mentality for the 10, but never sees the good that the million was saved. Uh, is just going into, I think the main point is needing to express or validate yourself. But what we're really going to be coming into is not needing that and being okay with that, worrying about what other people think versus what they can't see, moving forward, knowing that there's always going to be someone that has a problem with everything, that, no matter who does what, there's going to be a problem. And being okay with that, seeing the bigger picture, knowing that this person is in their ego or their shadow, not evolved as far, and not looking at it like shame on them, but just being okay with that. I'll connect here and we'll see if anything else comes through and then pull some cards. I know I've seen this view before, and it's an eagle like over like a very large vista. There's greenery, so it's not like a desert or anything. It's just not mountain cliffs. It's trees and whatnot, and there's a stream running through, and it's seen everything. It's seen the bigger picture. It is coming through as like a hunter like aspect. Just felt Artemis. The idea of seeing the bigger picture, being you, doing you, not having to explain yourself. And there's a word I can't think of. Sovereignty is coming through, but standing rigid in your power and your domain, your space. It's really giving kind of like what we'd think of like the emperor, uh, making tough decisions, but there's reasoning. If we truly think of like a good leader, they have to make hard decisions and they have to back it. They have to stand in that. Again, I know in the beginning we talked about the aspect of life or death, but I don't think it's to that magnitude. But it is choices, it's calculated risks, it's decisions that may hurt people's feelings, that may neglect them, but is it valid? Again, anyone in their experience can only see as far as their experience allows them to see, which is all internal. There's no judgment on that, but when we get or progress farther, we grow, we see a much larger picture than uh, the others that are focused here, and there'll be a lot of resistance. Three of Pentacles reversed, ineffective team. Granted, we're talking about people. Uh, Maybe there was a team, maybe there was a group, maybe it was just a relationship, and their view obviously will hold you back from moving forward. I always say, in a very basic sense of a romantic relationship, that's only going to work if both parties choose to grow together, If not, someone's going to hold the other person back. And it's the other person's choice to uh, sacrifice themselves and not grow and expand, or to leave that relationship and move forward, putting themselves first, caring about themselves, respecting themselves, knowing that there's more for them in this journey and seeking that expansion, that growth. This could also be work, family unit, friends. Are we growing together, or are the other people going to hold you back? Excuse me. Are they keeping you small? Are they keeping you in their space, their safety net, their stagnation? And you can choose. Like we can just use that as the example. Okay, well, I hurt their feelings by leaving, but I'm going to go out and expand and maybe help other people's feelings, however it may look. Same thing with just uh, possessions. I don't really think this has to do with material growth, but obviously when we grow inside, we grow everywhere. So, uh, yeah, dead end jobs, anything like that. The full reverse, there's that stagnation, keeping you in stagnation, keeping you small. A lot of people say that. What does that really even mean? What does small mean? It can mean a lot of different things. Uh, Keeping you in a space of comfort. I like to think of it sometimes as keeping us away from our authenticity, keeping us in a place where uh, we are reacting a certain way to keep the peace or to not hurt people's feelings. And when we start to say things as they are or see things as they are, present that to the external, it hurts people's feelings, because we could say sad or hurt like that, but we could also just look at it like frustration, anger, rage, disappointment, because they're stomaching something inside of themselves and projecting that out onto us. This projection is so difficult because you want to validate it at times. And this goes back to this emperor idea of standing in this power, not having to explain yourself, your actions, because a lot of the time they're not going to be able to see it. They are here, they are in their domain. And when we could look back and say, did those people ever understand it? Did we come from a place where we always had to over explain ourselves, uh, seeking some sort of understanding or validation, and it was never received? Well, that's the clearest answer. They're never going to understand it. And being okay with that, standing in that emperor position, making decisions, calculated risks, all these kind of things that others deem unacceptable, poor, and the poor 10 people versus the million on the other end that you are able to see. Again, just an analogy. But what else do we have here, Spirit? Two of Pentacles. Equilibrium. Balancing these energies. I'm being drawn back to this whole projection aspect. If you've ever experienced it, you would know. If you don't, start paying attention to it. It's very real. It's very natural experience, but a lot of times we take ownership of it. We think that there are thoughts, our experiences, our doubts, our fears, and when these are projected onto us, we are taking ownership of it, thinking that it's us, and then we are inevitably holding ourselves back through these projections. Getting to a place of equilibrium, balancing this energy. Is this mine? Is this not mine? Paying attention to this. And if it is ours, handling it properly, moving to a place where we can process it, where we can alchemize it, where we can transform it into energy to be used for something positive, in our experience. Which every transformation like that, it is a positive experience in the end. Granted, it may not feel like it during it. Our next card, Page of Wands, enthusiasm. Being enthusiastic again. coming to a place where we don't know what's going to take place. We don't know, but we know we're going somewhere, and it's also given like the start over phase of I'm this new me, but I was always there. I just suppressed it, and I don't remember when I stopped being me, or uh, placing these holds on myself to accommodate others, to keep the pieces coming through again, to uh, care so much about what other people think, and and in return putting myself at risk for never caring for myself, never taking care of myself to an aspect, and instead pleasing everyone else. What does that look like? That's definitely going to be new, you know, and a difficult transition. You're going to be pulled back a lot to the old ways. Four of Cups, apathy. Again, with these transitions, it is uh, at a time, a dark place. It's this push and pull between both lives. These transitions uh, can be lonely at times. I mean, clearly, he looks pretty down. It is different for everyone, of course. There's going to be that resistance, that large resistance. Yesterday, I was doing a message on guilt heavily, or I should say, guilt came up a lot, and maybe that's something you carry or was used against you, and it's valid. You know, 10 plus a million. Well, we want to save everybody, but we have to come to a place that uh, we look at the bigger picture, no different than looking at ourselves versus the other people that we may feel like we're hurting by putting ourselves first and moving forward. But if we don't take care of ourselves, how could we take care of them? Kind of aspect. Sure, we can give and give and give, but if there's no one you to give, then there's nothing to be received by the giver. We'll go one last card here, Spirit. Seven of Pentacles reversed. Frustration. Are you frustrated, or are they frustrated? You can see, obviously, they would be frustrated. They're missing their supply that has been pulled from them. They are the victim, naturally. You are the demon, naturally. This can cause frustration because someone's painting a picture of you that's not true. This goes back to this validating our experience, or explaining our choices and how does it need to take place. Are we going to cave and give in, which then recreate this contact to validate ourselves, which is coming from a very unauthentic place. The need to validate, that is giving our power away, allowing something external to tell us who we are, versus coming back into that emperor place of understanding our choices and not needing the reason to explain it to those that are being a victim of their own creation. I'm going to leave it there. I wish you all the best. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.